I'm going to keep this really short. I'm really, really, really proud of our team because they've looked straight ahead and they haven't let any disappointment get in the way of what was next. And I think that is a direct reflection of our leadership. And these two guys that are sitting beside me just haven't allowed our team to get too high, too low. One of their mantras all year long was just to try to take one day at a time. And I really think they've done that. I think they've tried to be the best that they can be every day for our team. And they have kept our team above water, so to say, and just never allowed them to get into moments where things would fall apart or get too high. Again, unbelievable time coaching these guys, and I'm really proud of them. I'm proud they could go out the way they did today.
Question? Brooke, how'd you maintain your poise after watching the national anthem?
She did that for my senior night in high school, so I kind of thought that she was going to do it tonight, but I didn't really know. But it's just, there's a lot of emotions that go into senior night, but it was easy just to transfer that onto the court and just play with my teammates and get them going. So it was easy.
Is it hard to play on senior night for both of you? It means so much to you?
Not really. I mean, just because it does mean so much to us, and it just means so much to play with our teammates and get the crowd hype and just be all in at the moment. And so for me, it was very just intense tonight.
So you weren't ever about to cry during the game at all? Be honest.
You were crying after she saw him, weren't you?
Yeah, I
you
was.
dabbing a little.
But
Yeah.
not during the game?
No, not during the game. It was just happiness.
Ariel, what's it like to, when an opposing coach, I don't know if this has happened before, where Sherry came in here and said that she wanted to send you flowers before the game because she's so impressed with the way you play. What does that mean to you when it comes from the other team?
It definitely means a lot. I think she's a great coach. I think she does. When she's good at her job, her team is always prepared to play us. So to hear that from a coach, besides my own, that's. I can't put that into words. I'm just grateful.
Ariel, how satisfying is it that on your last regular season game here, not only did the team win, but both of you played very well in it?
You said, what does it mean?
Yeah. You didn't get overwhelmed by the moment. You both had great games.
I just think that's what we try to do. Try to stay level-headed, stay away from the highs and lows, and do what we need to do to make sure that our team is where we need to be. And I think we were just trying to win the game.
Ladies, looking over your career here at Texas, have you had a chance to let it process? It just seemed like these years just flew by, or is that moment? Are you still waiting to have that moment to process your 4 years here at Texas?
I'm still trying to process it. I think a little bit of it has hit me, but not yet, because I still have a chance to put my uniform on. So I think the one day where I don't get to put it back on, I think it'll hit me that day.
Can both of you talk about the emotions? You were taken out exactly 1 minute left, 55 seconds left, and everybody was going crazy. You were getting hugs from everybody. How did that feel? That moment.
It just goes back to that's what we came here for. So we came here because Texas was a family environment, and when we came off the court tonight, it showed that not only our coaches and our teammates are our family, but the fans that have been here for every single game since we were freshmen. And so I think it just goes back to the family environment.
Brooke, is it easier to process knowing that you guys are probably going to play a couple more games here? So this wasn't goodbye. There's still a little bit more business to be handled out there on that court.
Definitely, there's still more business to be handled out there. So I don't think that it's hit me yet either.
Karen, what do you think it's going to be like having to start over without these two?
I'm trying not to think about that. It'll be weird. It'll be really weird for me as a coach. There's been, certain moments in my career where I've had, players come. Through 4 years of playing as many minutes as these guys have played. That's the unusual thing, is that most know, most freshmen have to work their way into playing time, work their way into being impact players on a team. But these guys were impact players from, I thought, the second they arrived, and it'll be a little different when we walk out on the floor this spring, and they're off somewhere else. It'll be a little different, not just for me and the coaches, but it'll be different for their own teammates, I think. But it's part of what they came here for, was to make Texas better. They've helped us recruit great players. That's another selfless thing about these two, is that Ariel will call me and ask me, or text and say, what about this? What do you need if someone's coming on campus? What do you need me to talk to them about? And that means they care about our program. They're not just caring about themselves. They want us. They're the kind that'll come back and impact players that come after them. No question.
Karen, in terms of teams always want to peak right when they're getting ready for
Mhm.
this time of year, where do you feel like this bunch is in terms of peaking?
I feel good from a standpoint that we look fresh. They might not say that, but I do think that we look energetic. And I guess that just comes from coaching for a while, and you kind of have looks in players' eyes. Are they ready for this to be over? Are they fatigued? Do they want to keep playing together? That's chemistry. And I don't get any bad vibes about this team. I feel like they're going to give everything they have to play as long as they possibly can, and I think that's all you want as a coach. You want a team that's excited about postseason play. You want a team that you know is going to give their very best effort. Now, in saying that, we need to improve in some areas. I don't want to sit here and say we have this perfect team and we're going to, we've got some stuff we need to do better in the next couple of weeks. There's some areas that we need to improve in, and we'll get to that. This is a hard game. It's seeding in the tournament wasn't going to change. Playing a team that was on the bubble, senior night, lots of emotions, which probably carried them through tonight. Really was just their adrenaline. And when I say our whole team had some adrenaline tonight. You could tell by the way we're throwing the ball all over the gym, because we haven't really played that spastic in a while. But I think that was adrenaline from the night. But that probably helped us tonight, because the game might have seemed irrelevant to some of them.
Karen, did Jordan Hosey earn the starting spot in practice?
Jordan's I think, really contributed heavily to our team. She has a good energy about her. And their matchups are a little different. They're undersized at the post position. Maddie Manning is a guard. So Jordan gives us a little bit of a different defensive look. I knew she was going to have energy. She really absolutely adores these seniors and has played with them for a long time and known them for years. And I thought that she might give us a little bit of a different energy. And I think that worked. I think she played really well.
She did.
But, we eventually went to a lineup that I think was best against this team, which was a 4-guard lineup. We did the same thing at Iowa State. So sometimes it's just matchups.
How important is it to have that junkyard dog? Bree Taylor was that last year, and Jordan gets her hands on a lot of loose balls and makes those glue plays.
I
that may
think
not
it's
show up in the
huge.
stats.
It's huge. Those are players that I think teams that want to play late into March, they have to have a few like that just want to get around the ball, and they're selfless and they're not worried about anything else but trying to help the team win.
Hey, Brooke, is there a different vibe about this team right now compared to last year's team? Going into the tournaments, it didn't seem like you had the momentum, the steam behind you. You lost early in the Big 12. Is it different? It feels different to me.
Yeah, definitely. It does feel different. I think this year a lot of people have been taking pride in their nutrition and working on their bodies. And so we're not – I think last year we hit a wall and everybody was just dead looking ahead. And this year we haven't had to have any of those problems. We haven't had anybody look ahead. We haven't we just want to come and practice every day and get better. And so I think that's the difference is when everybody wants to come and practice and get better and look forward to the next game, it brings a different feel about the games and practices, and it keeps you moving forward.
Karen, your other seniors didn't dress. What's the latest on Adrienne? Or do you expect her back anytime soon? And if not, how does that change your dynamic?
Well, I think we've dealt with that. We've played enough now, practiced enough that we kind of know. I mean, I think that we sort of have a rotation and a group of post players that know they're all going to get some minutes. A little bit of a committee type mindset with the post players, and I don't have an answer for you.
As far as your front court, what are you gonna need to get from them? You're obviously very guard-centric with great guards. What do you feel like you're gonna need from your front court to do the damage you wanna do at March?
I think just what I just said, that they need to have this mindset that we're a committee. And I talked to Jatari about a few things after the Iowa State game, and I thought she did a better job of the things that she and I discussed. She's been getting an early, a couple of quick fouls, and it kind of takes her out of any kind of rhythm. And I thought she did a better job. I feel bad for her because I feel like she gets in the worst situations where she gets these fouls, or I guess fouls, and they're just and so we're working on trying to get her to learn how to manage that. I mean, we all have to remember Jatari's not played in 2 years, and this was her first grind of a Big 12 season. So what I think potentially will happen with her is she'll catch her breath after the Big 12 tournament, because this has been a grind that, our front court players, aside from Audrey, you have to remember our front court players. I mean, they didn't necessarily experience all that. Joyner, of course, did last year, but missed the first semester, so she had to work herself back in. So they're young and experienced. That's where obviously losing Audrey hurt us, because she was experienced in guarding all of these different players. She was familiar with the league, and so that's been a learning curve for Jatari that I think that reset button will be very important for her after the Big 12 tournament. But again, it's a committee. They've got to rebound as a committee. They've got to defend as a committee. I mean, we definitely shared fouls tonight in the post. We had plenty to go around. But I also think that they understand that if they just do their job, our guards, they're playing awful well right now. I mean, I have to include Shug in that. I feel like she went through that little virus or whatever she had before we played Oklahoma State, and I think she's back. And LaShawn went through a little phase too. I mean, each one of the guards have kind of been through this whole phase, and I think that the good part that I feel good about is all of them. Chaz is starting to get better every day. I'm feeling better about putting her in, so I think our guards are probably as good as they've been together.
And you get a lot of rebounds from your guards if you look at the...
Well, it's better. I mean, we've been talking to them about that, just how do you help, get in the rebounding game, and LaShawn has really been trying to do that. I mean, these two have always kind of been around the ball, but we needed one or two more to try to do that, and they've done a good job with that.
They're worried you had 6 turnovers the first quarter, but like you say...
I'm telling you, that was adrenaline. We haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah. And then Ariel gets a foul with 1 minute. Do you kind of swallow hard when you see that?
I'm used to it.
But you didn't get any the rest of the half.
Thank you.
That's what I'm not used to. That's what I'm not used
You've
to.
been waiting on that.
Great
Been waiting on
discipline,
that.
right? Did she threaten you, Ariel?
She needs to pass her wisdom over to Jatari.
She didn't threaten you or anything, did she?
Coach,
I don't even look at her.
Sherry thought one of the big differences was the end of quarters. You guys had a streak on almost every quarter, and you had the 10-1 run at the end of the second quarter. How big is closing quarters
Oh, it's
to
huge.
success?
It's huge, and that's where I think our team has really grown, because sometimes at the end of quarters you're trying to give a starter that extra minute or so. So I typically try to get maybe Brooke out, sometimes Shatari, sometimes Ariel's fouled. So there are different combinations that are in sometimes at the end of quarters. And we were not very good at that at the beginning of the year. And it was kind of odd to me that it always seemed like it was Shug that I had in that situation where she was making the decisions at the end. And she has really started to understand time and clock, clock and situations of games and things like that. So we've improved because of that.
Well, in that one quarter, I guess Ariel had like 2 or 3 jumpers, a steal,
Mhm.
a rebound. Really
Yeah,
was a big
we've
point of the
definitely
game.
improved in that area
Yeah.
considerably.
If there was a turning point, so to speak, the 10-1 at the end of the
End of the
second
second,
quarter,
yeah.
that gave you a nice lead at halftime. It felt like you were in command at halftime. Your thoughts?
I felt better because I thought we could make some defensive adjustments. I mean, they shot 50% in the first half.
Right.
And we made a couple of adjustments that I thought were good. I thought they were good adjustments.
Brooke, does the team even start talking about the playoffs? And I kind of don't mean the conference tournament yet.
Oh, no.
Big picture,
No.
you don't?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because we still have to play in the Big 12, and we still had to play tonight. So
So you're brainwashed, ain't
They brainwashed each other.
I? That's big.
I will say that it was their idea.
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
to talk about
I've
it?
let these guys, as I try to communicate every year with the seniors, I let them tell me
Yeah.
before the year ever started, and they were the ones that said, you know what, we just got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to that long win streak last year and then, start thinking about this and that and the other, and they understood that. That's what experience does for you. So they just wanted to take one day at a time, and they have lived by it all year long, and who am I to argue with them about that? I mean, they're in the locker room.
Is it hard to ignore, though? You turn on ESPN or something and people
Probably
are
not for
talking.
Brooke, I don't know.
Brooke doesn't watch television.
She
Oh, that's
watches,
right. She doesn't watch
she
television.
watches Lifetime.
That's right.
dang.
Only,
But
only
do you
at
watch it,
Christmas.
though?
Oh, of course I do, but I mean,
So it is
I'm,
your thinking.
I've told them we've talked about just a few things,
Yeah.
where I told them that, I mean, it's not like they don't know it all, but I mean, I did tell them, we talked about the fact that we were in a good position to host. And this was, 5 or 6 games ago. What do we want to do with the position that we've put ourselves
Sure.
in? And that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
Just let's try to keep this thing moving
right.
in the right direction, and they've done a good job with that.
Brooke and Ariel, what's left on the bucket list before you guys have to graduate?
I guess something Austin like here.
Anything.
Oh, well, that's what I was thinking. We wanted to go ziplining, so we'll have to wait till after season probably.
And camping.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta wait?
Yeah, we're gonna
Coach
wait.
won't let you?
Maybe.
Well,
No
we had the
zip lining?
camping trip planned, and then something happened
When was that?
in the fall, so I
Oh.
think we'll get around to the camping trip before these guys leave us.
But you don't like them ziplining next
I
week?
don't want to see them zip line ever.
Ariel, what do you watch
Brooke
on
might
TV?
sail away.
Oh, she could. Ariel, what do you watch on TV?
I like cartoons.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
You got your favorite? What's your favorite?
Ooh, favorite cartoon. I don't have one, honestly. I just like the animation. I think it's cool how they have to draw out scene by scene and to see it all put together. It's just really cool.
Coach, are you looking to give players such as Chaz more playing time during the Big 12 tournament? That's going to be filling these roles once Ariel, Brooke, and Audrey are gone. Are you going to look at that as using that as time to give those players?
We're gonna try to win, and the thing that I feel better, I mean, I put her in today,
Yeah.
and I put her in against Iowa State, and I mean, every situation is gonna help her learn. But the thing about Chaz and I would say all of the freshmen, I mean, you see Rella, is spending some time learning, is that they're taking practice so much more seriously now that they're learning in practice. The games are not where they're gonna figure this out. I hate to say that. It's not that time of the year for me to let them try to figure things out. I mean, it's too late for that, really. I do trust them more, as you can clearly see. And their teammates trust them more, and that's the most important thing. But this valuable practice time that they have before we go to the tournament, when we get back from the tournament, that's what they're getting better at. I mean, they're getting better every day because they're approaching practice differently.
Brooke and Ariel, my last question to y'all is, was there advice given to you when y'all came in as freshmen that you're gonna give to the freshmen as y'all exit?
I would definitely say the advice that I took to heart was that you're just gonna have to work through it. When you come in as a freshman, you know you're capable skill-wise, but there are some things that you just really don't know. And it's not that you're not good enough, you just don't know. And so to learn that I had to just put my head down and work was something that I'm definitely gonna teach the players that are under me.
I would think basically the same thing, but I think the most thing that I've taken to heart is kind of the process, because I heard it so much as a freshman that it's like in my brain. So when freshmen come in and they're really good, like we have our freshmen, they're really good, they just don't understand the process yet. And so you just got to keep reminding them that every day is a grind, every day is you get better no matter what you think. So just that part.